Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gaudet Field here in Middletown, Rhode Island, where the Salve Regina University Seahawks will be taking on the Owls of Keene State in a non-conference women's soccer matchup. Hello again, and welcome. I am Andrew Pizzelli, bringing you the call here tonight. A beautiful night in Middletown for the Seahawks and the Owls to battle each other here on the soccer field. This game was originally scheduled to be on Brother Reynolds Field, but the rain we've had in the middle of the weeks has waterlogged the Seahawks' grass home field, and so a lot of games on turf for both the men's and women's teams. So here we are tonight at Gaudet. I'd like to welcome into the broadcast now my good friend Sal Gualtieri. Sal, how are we doing here tonight?
Good, Andrew. It's a beautiful Thursday night, and like you said, rain has not been our friend to any of the athletic programs here at Salve. The men played at Topa yesterday to a 3-3 draw, and the women will look to get a positive result tonight against Coach Jane Walsh's alma mater, Keene State.
And what are your thoughts about this matchup between the Seahawks and the Owls? The fourth all-time meeting, but so far it's been all Owls in this series.
Well, the Seahawks had a big win over the weekend, Andrew. 5-3 win over Western New England. Abby McMackin with 3 goals in the first 10 minutes, and it'll be imperative for the Seahawks to get off to a great start again.
And that game was here at Gaudet. And talk about the Seahawks playing on turf. Jamie Robert also had 2 goals in that game for the Seahawks to round out their scoring in a 5-3 victory. Jamie Robert, all her goals scored on turf. So she likes the turf. And we'll see if that duo of McMackin and Robert can strike again as well here tonight. Seahawks 4-4-0 on the season. Keene State 2-5-1. They're coming into tonight after falling to Rhode Island College 3-2. They led 2-1, but the Anchormen scored in the 82nd to tie it, and then scored again 25 seconds into overtime to defeat the Owls. So they have a bit of a bitter taste in their mouths, and I'm sure we'll see some intensity out of them at the beginning of this one. And as you mentioned, head coach Jane Walsh wanting to beat her mentor, Denise Lyons, was her coach when she played at Keene. So the mentor versus the student.
And Lyons is a legend at Keene State in the Athletic Program Hall of Fame. She's been there for 25 years, and she went to Keene herself and was an All-American.
And just about ready for a play here. Waiting at midfield is Rachel Braun. And we're underway. Devin DeFalco trying to catch up to a ball at midfield. Down the right side now for Delaney Maxwell. And offsides is Abby McMackin.
And Andrew, most of the play, if not all of the play, goes through number 10 in white, Abby McMackin. Hat trick last week, CCC Player of the Week.
Ball bouncing around. Katie Zimrello heads it across the field. Seahawks now dropping back. Ball on the far side, angle to midfield. DeFalco first to it for the Seahawks. Looking to turn and drops it back. And having to race all the way back to collect it is Jessica Watson. Watson now along the near touchline has her pass knocked away and then fed out of play by Maggie Vogt. Robert to Maxwell. Dribbles away from Vogt. Now Katie Zimrello at midfield. Softly plays it all the way across. Emily Zimrello up ahead, and that pass a little too tough to be handled. Out of play. It'll be a throw in for the Owls. And the ball once again out of play. DeFalco jumps to a loose ball. Trying to dribble through a crowd, trying to punch it forward to McMackin, has it knocked away. Seahawks will try and keep it alive. DeFalco again, now firing it to the right side of the field. Delaney Maxwell has it hop off her foot, and it rolls towards the cage and is grabbed by Shelby Offord.
Andrew, you can tell right away the Seahawks are doing what we've talked about so much this season. Is just putting the ball down and playing none of that kick and run stuff for the first few minutes thus far.
Dancing with it now is Stephanie Spitz. Shelby Offord in between the pipes for the Owls. She's 2-3-1 on the year, 1 shutout, 17 goals allowed, 42 saves on the year for Salve Regina. Carly Paula between the pipes. She's made all 8 starts, 51 saves on the year, 4-4 is her record, 2.52 goals against average. Nicole de Alameda trying to move it into the middle. Jamie Robert pitching in for a moment. Now Kennedy drives it forward down the left side, and it will roll to Carly Paula. And we'll get a goal kick here. Kick from Paula. Sailing over midfield. DeFalco heading it forward and neatly into space now. Papiro trying to play it to McMackin, and it'll roll to Offord. Shelby Offord wearing the 0-1 jersey.
You don't see that every day.
Well, the Owls also have a 0-2. There are 4 keepers on the roster. 0, 0-1, 1, and 0-2. Trying to make the most out of the low numbers. Katie Zimmerello trying to step to one, has it knocked away. Maxwell able to squib it back into space, grabbed by the Owls. Along the near side now, Stephanie Spitz trying to dribble her way away from Delaney Maxwell. No going there, and then it's touched out of play. Throw in for the Owls. Lost off the foot of Alyssa Wilcox. Seahawks will throw in from in front of the Owls bench. It will be Jess Watson to toss it in. Lobbing it to Jamie Robert. Now Maxwell trying to settle it down. Boots it back out to midfield. Bouncing ball. McLaughlin forward to Robert. McMackin trying to chase it down now along the near side. Grabbed by the Owls. Seahawks converge. Watson kicks it out of play, knocking over the midfield flag. Watson again, trying to move it to McMackin. Zimmerello chasing it. Owls into the attacking end now, slashing down the far side. Abasciano trying to move it wide right. McLaughlin deflects a shot, and the ball goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in in the far corner for the Owls. Ball loose in the corner, and it will go out of play, and we'll get a goal kick here for Carly Paula. First real time, Sal, that we saw the Owls with possession in Seahawk territory.
The Seahawks have done a great job so far, Andrew, keeping the pressure up, and they're looking for that first goal.
McLaughlin with the kick. Bouncing at midfield. Jamie Robert can't get to it. The Owls trying to control. Loose ball at midfield is grabbed by Keene. Played down the left side for Stephanie Spitz. Trying to cut to the inside. Now turning around Watson. Spitz trying to dribble her way around Maxwell now. Ball loose on the ground and is just kicked off the field of play by McLaughlin. Some fancy footwork there from Stephanie Spitz. Ball knocked away. McMackin waiting, chipping it into space. And Maxwell couldn't get to it, doing a good job there. Shielding the ball was Nicole Delameda. Rachel Braun feeds it into the left side corner.
Yes, good work.
And it rolls out of play, and we will get a corner for the Owls. Ball in the middle, and it's headed high and wide. Goal kick here for the Seahawks. Ball roll to Paula once again. She'll hold it. 37 minutes to play in the first half. Still no score. And not many scoring chances either. Zimrello pushed from behind. And an easy foul call to make there.
And Andrew, scoring goals for both of these clubs have not been easy things. The Seahawks have only had 3 goal scorers all season long. McMackin with 8, Jamie Robert with 5, and Katie Zimrello with 1 against Rhode Island College.
And those are 2 big weapons the Seahawks have, but it does at times make it easy for the opponent defense to just know who to hone in on.
Yeah, you and I have talked off the field. It's just, if you shut down 10 in white, it'll be a good day for you defensively.
Players fall to the ground, get a foul called here against the Seahawks. That was Robert. A little too aggressive there with the defense. Kennedy moves it across to Maggie Vogt. She spins it down the left side. Chasing after it is Rachel Braun, spinning it in on the goal in front for a shot that hops high and in front, directing away. Now Paula coming out to try and grab a loose ball, still on the ground, and thrown out to the right side. And now a long distance try, hopped in front. Maxwell will turn away from it. And just try and clear it here. Good job by the Owls trying to keep this one in. Braun left side. Excuse me, make this Maggie Vogt. Moves it out high. Alex Kennedy pinching in, has it stripped. Ball deflects off the Owls, out of play.
Great aggressiveness by Paula there to come out there and make the save. And the Seahawks so far have weathered the only storm so far as Watson will take the throw in. And it's controlled by the Owls as Jamie Robert fights for it. McMackin wins it, and it'll go out of play, and it'll be a throw in for the Owls with 34:30 remaining in the first half.
You know, you can tell when somebody's trying to shoot, you know.
It's won by the Seahawks. It's Watson. And she finds Maxwell, who plays it up. And it's controlled by the Owls, and it's won back by Maxwell. She finds Zimrello, who's stripped by the Owls, and the Owls look to have a counter here, and that ball's played far, and Carly Paula will come out to retrieve it for the Seahawks.
And aside from that one sequence we saw there with the ball just kind of being ping-ponged around, the Seahawks have done a good job of stepping to loose balls and controlling them and getting them out of their zone. Paula's kick sails out to midfield. Now McMackin looking to turn, chips it into space for Delaney Maxwell, who has daylight up ahead, and then angled off the ball by Vogt. McMackin trying to come get to it. It goes out of play, and the official will say that it belongs to Salve. Maxwell looking to toss in from the near touchline. Lobs it towards Robert, who heads it into space. Bouncing now towards DeFalco, who with the left foot fires it high and wide. Papiro dancing, trying to keep it alive along the end line. And then her cross is fed out of play.
That's good work by Papiro there, Andrew, keeping the play alive and winning a corner here for the Seahawks.
Now we'll get a corner for Salve. It will be Zimrello taking it in the far side. Katie Zamorello's corner kick falls at the 18 and then is knocked away by the Owls. And it's going to roll out of play. Stephanie Spitz not quick enough to get to it before it rolled out of bounds. And now Jess Watson will look to lob it in the direction of Robert. Ball loose on the ground. McMackin fighting for it, battling with Vogt. Maxwell comes to get it. Looks to angle away from Stephanie Spitz. Maxwell again trying to catch up to it. Vogt peels it away from her. In space now for Spitz, right at midfield. Back to Vogt as Spitz is knocked down, so foul called against the Seahawks. 31-54 and counting to go in the first half. No score. Vogt with the kick into Seahawk territory. Zamorello moves it forward to DeFalco, trying to slide to make a tackle. Can't make contact with the ball. And now out for McMackin at midfield. Playing it across. And Papiro chipping it into space and having to hustle back and get to it. Or the Owls. And now Offord fires it out to midfield. And it hops out of play, but a good clearance there by Shelby Offord.
Shelby Offord there being aware of the ball from Papiro, Andrew. As she was looking to find McMackin going through.
Papiro trying to chase this one down. DeFalco fires it into Owl territory, bouncing, and Offord will grab it in front. Offord's kick sails into the attacking zone for the Owls. Abasciano moving it up ahead into the corner. Seahawks there to knock it away. Kept alive on the far side. Owls look to possess here. String some passes together. Ball into space. Too soft, though, and Maxwell reads that one and fires it back to the other end of the field. Out comes Offord all the way out near the 25-yard line. Moved by Kosara and carried into the attacking end. Ball rolling into the corner, out of play. And the Seahawks will get it deep in their own territory on the far side. They will throw in.
Shelby Offord, Andrew, not afraid to use that real estate she's got on that whole half there. You just saw a few times she's been out around the 25, 30-yard line.
And she's still hanging a good distance from the goal right now. Maxwell leaving it into space for Watson. Trying to get it back to Maxwell. And the Seahawks were called offsides. Kick from Vogt. Sails to midfield. Ricochets off of Jordan Abasciano. Thrown back to the Owls' end. Contact and a foul against the Owls now. And a lot of the play happening in the midfield right now.
It's a battle in the trenches in the first 16 and a half. No legitimate scoring chances. The Owls had a scramble in front of the Seahawk net briefly, but the Seahawks were able to end that chance. But other than that, there hasn't been any clear-cut chances for either side.
Stephanie Spitz drops it back to Vogt. Spitz watched by Maxwell, playing into the middle, trying to look for a give and go, and that ball's going to ricochet off of Spitz. The pass was a bit behind her. Now Jess Watson will throw in.
And the first sub of the night, Andrew, Megan Papiro replaces Devin DeFalco.
Maxwell Loses the ball along the near side. Watson comes to help. Katie Zamorello trying to poke it away from Alyssa Wilcox. Owls sail it into the attacking end. Abasciano trying to fight her way through. And now it rolls to the left side, and Paula is going to have to race out, and we'll just watch it sail wide. Sarah Karen had a shot to get to it, but it was just out of her reach.
Basciano and Sarah Karen, 2 names to keep track of, Andrew. 3 goals for each of them. They lead the team. There hasn't been much scoring for the Owls, but those are the 2 names the Seahawk back 4 will have to keep their eyes on.
Spitz into the corner, grabs it away from McLaughlin, does a good job to keep it in play, trying to spin it in front, knocked away, and it'll go out of play. And it was last touched by the Owls. .26-30 and counting here in the first half. No score. And not many shots. A lot of midfield play right now. McLaughlin, low line drive, comes up short of midfield. And a foul called here against Keene State. Off the kick, the Owls able to deflect it, rolling into Seahawk territory. Watson angles it out to midfield. McMackin looking to run now. Maxwell trying to hit her in stride. It's played back by De Alameda, and Offord will grab it with McMackin charging in. Offord's boot sails over the 50-yard line. McLaughlin sending it out towards Papiro, knocked away by the Owls. Zamorello trying to step to a ball, now feeds it forward and then is called for a foul. Just about 10 yards past midfield. Nicole De Alameda opts not to fire it in the air, playing it to the right side, trying to hop one in front, and it's grabbed by Carly Paula. Vogt squibs it off of her foot. McMackin trying to catch up to it. Trying to pass it to herself now. Robert looking to turn. Feeds Papiro. Seahawks have McMackin in front and move to the right side. Maxwell.
Robert, and Offord's goal kick is short. It's won by the Owls, but Maxwell's there to retrieve it. Zamorello battling for it, and it's retrieved by the Owls, controlled by Spitz, and she will play it out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Jess Watson at midfield. Maxwell and Dynel both checking in, but she goes to McMackin, who plays it over the head of Maggie Vogt, but it will be a throw-in for the Seahawks. And Maxwell will take it right in front of the bench of the Owls. Maxwell's throw-in is flicked on by McMackin. And Max looks to clear. And the Owls trying to build up steam, but Jess Watson gets in the way of that. And Zamorello plays it up. And Dynel. A lot of ball in the air right now. No one's getting real control of it. And it's controlled by Abasciano. And it's cleared out by the Seahawks, and Offord will wait for it. 22:37 remaining in the first half here. No score and no shots for either side. Papiro. And Papiro's going to come away with it. She's streaking down that left side. Papiro looking for her sister. She can't find her, and it'll be a throw-in for her as well. And Kara Cody will check in. Cody will replace Mia Papiro. And that ball will go out of play. It'll be a throw-in again for the Seahawks. It'll be Cody getting in the action right away. Here's a shot, and it goes wide, and it'll be a goal kick. First shot of the evening for the Seahawks. It's off the foot of Molly Leary.
Make sure you get double time.
And here's the goal kick from Offord. It'll go out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in. It'll be Katie Zambrello on the throw-in. It's knocked out by the Owls, and Zambrello will do it again.
Let's go, 18!
Throw-in for the Seahawks. Maxwell trying to run onto it. She gets there. Here's a chance for Delaney. And the shot is short, and it's controlled by the Owls, Stephanie Spitz. Katie Zambrello fighting there. McMackin offsides, but the play will continue. And it's controlled by Dynald at midfield for the Seahawks. Zambrello finds Dynald looking for Cody, and Cody's offsides. And here's the goal kick. It's controlled by the Owls. Dynald wins it. She finds Papiro. Cody looking for Zambrello. Seahawks controlling, and they give it up. It'll be a throw-in. And here's the throw-in for Zambrello. And it's controlled by McMackin. It'll be out of play. It'll be McLaughlin again. It'll be an Owls throw-in, pardon me. It's controlled by the Owls. And that ball will roll, and Carly Paula will claim it. Paula. And that Basciano gets that one. And it's won by Watson. Maxwell has it dancing down the line. And Cheap gives it away. And the Owls look to build up steam here. Here's a chance. Great play from Emily Zambrello there. It'll be a throw-in for the Owls with 18:44 remaining. The Owls still seeking their first shot of the evening. Here's a first chance. It's a great save by Paula. It's off the post. And it's cleared out by Maxwell. And McMackin will just get rid of it. A great save with the right hand of Carly Paula as it deflected off the post. And the first real chance for the Owls goes nowhere. As Zambrello tries to clear. She finds Dynald. The Owls building up the pressure. Cody clears it out. And it's controlled by Maggie Vogt in front of the Seahawk bench. Vogt plays it in. Knocked down by Leary. It'll be a free kick as McMackin is fouled. It'll be Kayla McLaughlin on the free kick from her own 20. As Margaret Hanley waits to check in for the Seahawks. And Dinah looks to control that, and she can't do so. McLaughlin tries to head it. She misses. And McLaughlin with a great retreat there. She wins it. McLaughlin looking for Maxwell or McMackin. Maxwell is offsides, however. And Offer just gets rid of it. And that ball deflects off of Dinah, and it's controlled by the Owls. Here's Stephanie Spitz. Streaking from the Seahawk bench. She finds Abasciano. Jordan Abasciano finds Spitz in the box. And Spitz rolls out and plays it back for Maggie Vogt. And she plays it across the field, and it will go out of play, and it'll be a goal kick for Carly Pala. And Margaret Hanley will replace Delaney Maxwell.
27, Margaret Hanley.
It'll be a goal kick here for Kayla McLaughlin. 16-16 remaining. One shot on target in this one. It was a great save by Carly Pala a few minutes ago. Here's Dinah. She loses the handle, and it'll be a throw-in for the Owls. The Owls look to counter off of this throw-in, but Leary gets in the way. McMackin lays it off, looking for Dinah. It will go out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the Seahawks. It's controlled by the Owls at their back line. It's flipped up. Karen McLaughlin gets in the way of that, and she clears, controlled by Maggie Vogt. Stephanie Spitz controlling it from the Seahawk bench. Owls looking to gain possession, but that is quickly over as it'll go out of play. It'll be a throw-in. It'll be Jess Watson. The Owls look to build up steam here. Abasciano trying to run onto it. Here's Stephanie Spitz with a chance. The Owls will not get a shot. They will get a shot. It will go wide, and it'll be a goal kick. A golden opportunity for the Owls. It'll be a goal kick. It'll be McLaughlin from the right corner of the 6-yard box. McLaughlin's goal kick reaches the 30-yard line. Margaret Hanley doesn't go for it. Hanley looking for McMackin down the line. It's deflected by Spitz. It'll be a throw-in. It'll be Amanda Bentz entering this match.
And the match of Salve Regina University, number 22, Amanda Bentz.
Replacing Ashley Dinah. Watson's thrown in front of the Seahawk bench. Is controlled by Hanley. Hanley. And McLaughlin clears. McMackin looking to run onto it. She might get there. It's 1-on-2. McMackin. And she's fought off by the Owls. Cody doing a good job keeping it. It'll be a foul on McMackin. Here's the free kick for the Owls. And it's won by Hanley. Zambrello battling. She wins it. That ball's going to keep rolling. Will McMackin get there? She will not get there. It'll go out of play. The Cadence Loose will enter for Stephanie Spitz.
Cadence Loose. And entering the match.
And Emily Smith will enter
Emily Smith.
for Ashley Deinalt. That ball is controlled by Bentz. And Hanley battling with it. And it's controlled by the Owls. Owls battling for it. They come out with it. And Hanley will try and bring it down. She jumps. She can't get it. And it's controlled by the Owls. Cadence Loose getting into the action right away. And Paula getting some work recently. We'll come up with that one with just under 11 minutes to play here in the first half. And Cody, looks like she was shaking up a little bit there, but she's okay. Streaking down the line of the Owls. It's controlled by Zambrello. And she finds McLaughlin, whose pass is deflected. It'll go out of play and it'll be a throw-in. That ball is flicked on by Leary and it'll go out of play. It'll be a throw-in at the 40-yard line for the Owls. And it's controlled by them. It's won by Cody. And Bentz is pushed off the ball. And that'll be a free kick at midfield for the Seahawks. McLaughlin on the free kick here from midfield for the Seahawks. And that ball's flicked on. And Alfred will keep it in, preventing the corner kick. 9:40 remaining here at Gaudet Middle School. Scoreless. And Smith looking for Cody. She's going to find her. McMackin and Hanley running into the box. Cody's cross will go out of play, and it will be a goal kick. A great idea from McLaughlin there. Finding Cody, but Cody couldn't do much with it, and it'll be a goal kick. Alfred's goal kick is deflected and out of play by Bentz. It'll be a throw in for the Owls on their 30. McLaughlin trying to clear it out here, and her clearance is deflected, and it'll be a throw in. Zambrello. Smith looking for McMackin, and she is offsides. Looks like Cody, Hanley, and McMackin were all offsides there. Here's the free kick from the 30 for the Owls. That ball rolls to McLaughlin, and Bentz comes up with it. Looking for McMackin. She lays it off for Hanley, who finds McMackin, and Offord was waiting there. We talked before about her taking up that real estate, and it paid off there. It's controlled by the Owls. Cadence Loose finds Abasciano. She can't handle the pass, and McLaughlin steps to it, and she clears. McMackin looking to run onto it as it approaches the Owl bench. McMackin working hard. She gets there. McMackin battling with Maggie Vogt, but the Owls come up with it. Loose controls it. And it's controlled by the Seahawks. It's Margaret Hanley. She finds Bentz. And Emily Smith will reset. Zamrello. Katie looking for Emily, but it will go out of play. And we'll have two Owls re-entering, Ashley Bates and Caitlin Close.
Match for King State, number 11, Ashley Bates, and number 28, Caitlin Close.
And Basciano and Rachel Braun exits. It's controlled by the Owls, and Paula with a great save. Third save of the night for Paula. She's been busy in the last 10 minutes as Hanley can't control that punt. It's controlled at midfield for the Owls. Here's Luce. And Hanley clears it out. It will go to the Owl bench, and it'll be a throw-in with just over 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. And McMackin wins that ball. She's looking for Smith, and Smith can't retrieve it, but Cody intercepts. And Zamrello stepping there. She finds Cody, who knocks it on and heads down the line. Looking for McMackin, a give and go with Cody. Here's a chance for Kara Cody. Cody battling, and it will go out of play, and it'll be a corner. A great little give and go there for McMackin and Cody, and the Seahawks will have their second corner of the night. And Sam Redmond will enter for Kara Cody.
Samantha Redmond.
The Seahawks will go short. And Emily Zamrello looks to play it back in. It's deflected and out. Controlled by Bentz. Bentz looking for Hanley, who finds McMackin, and it will roll to Offord. That punt is won by Zamrello. It's controlled by Katie. Here's Emily Smith. Looking for Redmond, but the pass will not reach her, and it'll be a throw-in for the Seahawks. The Owls look to build up steam here with 4 minutes remaining in the first half. His first real chance. A great save by Paula there. It was Bates. That was the best chance the Owls have had all night long. And Paula stood tall. As Hanley, the ball deflects off of her hand. It'll be a free kick for the Owls. Free kick from the Owls here. Won by the Seahawks. And McMackin knocks it on. Hanley looking to save it. She can't do so. It'll be a throw in for the Owls.
In the match for King State, number 6, Taylor Basalian.
Taylor Basalian enters this game with 3 minutes remaining. And McMackin looking to control it with the high kick, and it'll be a foul on her. And we're going the other way, perhaps. It'll be McLaughlin at midfield for the free kick. McLaughlin's free kick. Gets to McMackin. Seahawks looking for the handball. They don't get the call. McLaughlin looking for McMackin. They can't find her. And Watson shielding. Bates doing a good job, and it'll be a throw for the Seahawks in front of their own bench. She finds a checking McMackin. And Emily Smith looking to gain possession. And Sam Redmond, her first action, finds Smith. And that will go out of play. McMackin looks to run onto that ball. She's going to get there. McMackin down that left side. Looking for options, trying to win a corner, and that cross will roll to Offord. And she will claim it. Watson trying to get to that ball. She'll win it. Hanley didn't come to it originally, but then she does it the last second. Bent's looking for Hanley. Hanley looking for McMackin, and it will go out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the Seahawks with just under a minute remaining here in the first half. Seahawks looking for that last gasp effort right before the half. Here's Hanley. And she can't get all of it, and it'll go out of play. It'll be a throw-in right in front of the Owl bench for them. The ball's won by Leary. McMackin trying to knock it on. The ball will go out of play. It'll be a throw-in now with 20 seconds remaining. McMackin will take the throw-in herself. She finds Hanley. Owls looking to clear. Ben's doing a good job keeping it in play. Hanley trying to get a cross in. And that will conclude the first half from Gaudet Field. We're scoreless. There haven't been many chances for either side. The Owls have had the majority of the chances, but we'll be right back in 15 minutes for the call of the second half.
Welcome back to Gaudet Field, getting ready for the start of the second half. Salve Regina and Keene State tied at 0-0. And Andrew Pizzelli alongside Sal Gauteri bring you the call. Sal, what are your thoughts about how that first half went for both sides and what the Seahawks need to do here to try and get on the board?
Well, Andrew, we talked earlier in the broadcast that this game was mainly in the midfield, and there's a saying that soccer is won in the midfield, but neither team gaining significant momentum. The Owls had a few chances late in the first half, but were unable to capitalize. And the Seahawks just have to keep pushing their buttons. They're defending really well, and they just got to push that momentum towards the offensive end.
6 shots on goal, 6 shots for the Owls, 4 have been on goal, 4 shots for the Seahawks in that first half, but none on the goal. And they've had a lot of those, call them near misses, just those, ooh, just a little bit behind, just a hair offsides. As you said, a lot of play in the midfield. I think we coined the phrase, the last women's game we worked, monkey in the midfield.
We did.
There's been a lot of that here tonight. Seahawks will throw in from the far touchline. And towards Robert. Robert with space trying to chip it towards DeFalco, knocked away by the Owls. And it can't be kept on the field to play on the far side. Salve will keep it and throw in from the midfield flag on the far side of the field. Katie Zimmerello drops it all the way back to Kayla McLaughlin. Cross now for Emily Zimmerello with the left foot, trying to sneak it forward for Mia Papiro. And a foot race for it now down the left side. It's knocked out of play, and the Seahawks will keep it. Emily Zimmerello lobbing it in, knocked away from Robert, out of play. And Zimmerello will again toss in from the touchline next to the Seahawks bench. Flips it up high to her sister, Katie. Robert can't get to this ball. Sneaks through the Seahawks backfield, and then it's stripped and taken by Abciano. Trying to weave her way forward. And a good job defensively there for the Seahawks. Molly Leary getting back and battling toe-to-toe with Jordan Abciano.
Molly Leary keeping close eye on Abciano. I talked earlier how she is the Owls' main horse, leading the team in goals right now. And goals have been at a premium for the Owls. Not many this season, as they currently sit in last place in the Little East Conference.
Here's a kick now, driven towards the uprights and over the crossbar, and out of play. McLaughlin with the kick. Out towards Delaney Maxwell. Owls try to keep it in. Back out to midfield. De Alameda. Now on the right side, and losing it out of play on the near side was Braun. Emily Zimmerello throws into her sister Katie, and they can't control it. Braun trying to chase it down the right side. McLaughlin will just tow it out of play. And actually, she'll just watch it go. Last touched by Braun. And it'll be another kick here for the Seahawks. Ball in the air, out towards midfield. Delaney Maxwell trying to control. And chip it to DeFalco, grabbed by the Owls now. Pass knocked away by Robert, still chasing out to midfield. Owls control. Near side now for Keene State. It's lost out of play off the foot of Alex Kennedy. Pass intended for Papiro is headed away. Braun has it knocked away from behind by Mia Papiro, but Braun gets it back off the Zimmerello pass. And the Seahawks get it back, and Abasiano loses it. Jamie Robert trying to turn at midfield. Plays the ball for Papiro and just out of her reach. Tossing at midfield, knocked away by Emily Zimrello. Not a plan to belong to the Seahawks now. So a lot of midfield trading of possession here.
An astronomical amount of throw-ins so far.
DeFalco has it knocked away. Molly Leary leaves it in space. Zimrello carrying forward, trying to play it into the middle towards Robert. Had McMackin there as well. Katie Zimrello has it run off her foot. Owls trying to play it back into Seahawks territory. Katie Zimrello trying to move it forward. Snatched now by Alyssa Wilcox. Angling back, gives it away at midfield. Jamie Robert trying to turn and run with it. Couldn't control it. Abasciano has it knocked free from her. Robert and DeFalco trying to come to get to it. Ball knocked away by Leary. Left into space on the left side. And the Seahawks will guide it away from trouble. All the way out wide now at midfield. Papiro softly for DeFalco, who with the left foot spins it down the left side. Papiro chasing after it. And it'll be kicked out of play by Nicole de Alameda. Robert has it hop over her head, but they're going to call a foul here against the Owls. That'll give the Seahawks a kick.
First real chance in the second half for the Seahawks.
It'll be Katie Zimrello putting toe to ball. Drives it with the right leg, and it will hop right into the waiting arms of Shelby Offord. And that may go down as the first official Seahawks shot on goal.
And they had one in the first half. McMackin hit one wide. But other than that, they haven't really tested Shelby Offord, the sophomore from Shelton, Connecticut.
Ball out of play. It will belong to the Owls. 37-30 and counting to go here in the second half. Still no score. Ball bouncing inside the box, can be grabbed by the Owls, and that shot is deflected, and running out to get it is Carly Paula. Ball intended for Braun, knocked away by Emily Zimrello. Jamie Robert now double teamed at midfield, just shielding the ball. Touches it back to Zimrello. Now to Maxwell, trying to play it to DeFalco. Zimrello getting in the way of that pass. It's going to sail long into the corner. McLaughlin tracks it down, feeds it out of play.
Interesting to see, Andrew, in the next 10 minutes if one team can take over this game. Not necessarily get a ball in the back of the net, but lead towards that and get some quality chances, because neither side have really had a number of quality chances at the net.
So far from what you've seen, we've seen a lot of this midfield play and just kind of the exchanging one touch and then the ball gets knocked out of bounds. Is it more about what one side's doing, or is it more about both teams just not executing their passing?
I think it's about both teams. Both teams are whiffing on the ball. Both teams are intercepting balls. Both playing very good defense, but the offense has been at a premium for both teams all season, and it's no surprise that neither team has really generated any sort of chances.
Corner here for the Owls on the net. It goes off the hands of Paula. It is loose out in front. And it's going to roll all the way out past the 18. Headed back into the box, and then McLaughlin, they make that Leary, heads it back to Paula.
Small play by McLaughlin there, Andrew, knowing her surroundings, knowing that she has a friend behind her. She could lean on and just head it backwards for her.
And that was the best chance so far for the Owls.
Absolutely. Paula was off her line, and there were Seahawks on the goal line, but the Owls couldn't finish. It will remain scoreless.
Maxwell plays one in the air, but it's going to go out of play behind the goal. Kick from Offord. Out to midfield. Emily Zimrello deflects off of DeFalco. Robert running over a player in the attacking end. That'll be a kick now for Keene. Nearly 20 yards past midfield. Kick driven towards the goal. Paula has it go off her hands, off the crossbar. And actually, I think that went off the uprights of the football stanchion.
That's a great hit from Maggie Vogt there, Andrew. Paula was not expecting it to reach her at that point, and it looked like it caught her off guard, but Carly's 5'8" frame definitely helped her there.
And then another corner here for the Owls. Ball driven towards the goal, headed off the crossbar and out. And I think that went off the outside of the goal.
Andrew, I spoke a few minutes ago about a team needing to take over this game, and it looks like the Owls are responding. They've had a few great chances in this second half.
And off that kick, like you said, kind of caught Carly off guard, and then both of those corners, those balls have been in beautiful places for the Owls. And the field tilting their way a little bit now, and here comes a chance. Ball played wide right for Braun. Braun trying to turn the corner and move it in front, and McLaughlin closes off the angle. Throw in from the near side. Braun trying to scoot down the near sideline, loses it, and the Seahawks just feed it out of play. Throwing in front, McLaughlin trying to run it out of play. It's going to go out of play, and they're going to give another corner here to the Owls. Jordan Abasciano coming into the near side corner, right side. Kick towards the goal. It goes off of Paula in front and then is booted out of trouble. And now here comes Abby McMackin touching it into space for Maxwell. Seahawks trying to break. McMackin has to wait to get on sides. And it'll come all the way out to Offord. And McMackin pulled up there. She was off sides, but there was no flag.
And I don't know what Maxwell was doing there, Andrew, letting the ball roll past her. She's got to one-time that back to McMackin.
And then offsides called here against the Owls.
And Carly Paula has kept the Seahawks in this game through the first 14 minutes of the second half. 2 big-time saves.
And a couple of dangerous balls that have just found themselves free in front. McLaughlin trying to head it away from Abasciano. Abasciano now touching it into space, and Paula will race out and control it. Paula's kick bouncing into Owls territory. And it's rolled towards Offord, and she will hold on to it now. Offord's kick out to midfield. Robert had it for a moment and then lost it. Left in space now for the Owls. Trying to play it into Braun's corner. It deflects off of Papiro. Stays on the field of play. It'll go out of bounds. Last touched by Salve. Braun quickly throws it into play now. Trying to turn is Wilcox. Tied up with DeFalco. Wilcox keeps it alive. Ball spun into the middle. Knocked away. DeFalco has it poked away from her. Zamrello with the left foot. Feeds it out to midfield off the head of De Almeida. Zamrello now firing it up ahead, trying to get it to McMackin. Knocked back into the Salve end of the field, and we'll get a whistle here. Zamrello out to McMackin. Trying to settle it down, and turns and moves at midfield. McMackin plays it behind Papiro, and it'll go out of play. McLaughlin's kick out to midfield, knocked back by Taylor Basilian. And the Owls trying to quick play there. They're going to have to reset.
And these set pieces have been deadly in this second half for the Owls. Haven't been able to capitalize, but they've definitely had some great chances through the first 16 minutes of this second half.
Ball 15 yards past midfield. Here comes the kick. It's going to come up short of the box. And rolling back out to midfield, Delaney Maxwell sprinting out there to get to it for the Seahawks. Able to keep it on the field of play, trying to get it to McMackin. And the Owls will play it back to the keeper. Offered a little hesitation there. Had McMackin closing quickly. That could have been dangerous.
It was almost like a gift for the Seahawks there, McMackin.
Ball down the left side for a shot, and it's saved by Paula.
Carly Paula right now doing everything she can to keep her team in the game, Andrew.
Ball played out to midfield. Bouncing into the attacking end for the Seahawks. Mia Papiro with the left foot, spins it across. DeFalco trying to strike it with her left foot. Now fighting down the left side. Keeping it alive, shielding away the defender. Trying to spin it back out. Zamrello keeps it alive, has it poked away, and a great steal there by Braun. Paula kicks it forward. Braun grabs it away from Zamrello. Touching it wide, chasing it now is Candice Luz, and she has it wedged free. Kept alive now for Papiro. Stripped by Braun. And then Papiro gets it back, looking for space. We'll just play it all the way back into the Owls' end of the field. McMackin, the lone Seahawk, chasing back, and the Owls will play back to Offord. Her kick, high and short, will go out of play. .55 and counting to go here in the second half. No score.
Molly Breslin enters for the Seahawks.
Number 8, Alex Kennedy, and number 14, Tracy Kazera. Entering the match for Salve Regina, number 18, Molly.
McMackin trying to feed it on the goal. Deflected away by Casey Kozera. And now this will be a corner for the Seahawks, and McMackin will be the one to take it in the near side corner left side. See what the Seahawks can get out of this. They put everybody out high, and then they play it short here to Papiro. He's trying to spin it to McMackin on the give and go, and it's going to go out of play. Alford's kick out to midfield. Can't be settled down by Karen. And now all the way wide left side, Victoria Reynolds. Reynolds with a drive that goes well wide.
Looks like Caracody will be checking in.
Owls with possession, trying to touch it down into the corner, and it's lost out of play.
Match for Salve Regina, number 2, Tara Cody.
Cody replaces Mia Papiro.
McLaughlin low line drive, bouncing out to midfield. Knocked out of play by the Owls. Seahawks will retain possession and throw in. Maxwell trying to play it in the air, is whistled for a foul.
Controlled by the Owls. There's a cross in. It's deflected out by McLaughlin. And Max looks to keep it alive. Owls doing some dancing on that left side. Crosses in, deflected out by McLaughlin. It'll be a throw in for
Robert trying to track it down on the far side and spin away from the defender. Looking to chip it into space, and she draws a foul. No score here with 22:40 to play in the second half. Salve Regina's men's team played last night in a non-conference match with Johnson and Wales. That one went to overtime and ended in a draw.
that one was action-packed, drama-filled to say the least.
The way both of these teams are playing defensively right now, we're looking to be heading towards that same result. But 6 goals on the board in that game last night between both teams. None so far, and it's been timely goaltending. Alford hasn't had to do a lot. Carly Paula has made some big-time stops here in this second half where the Owls have really had the number of quality scoring chances.
Absolutely. The Seahawks have not had many. As you said, Alford hasn't, we haven't called her name much, but Carly Paula has definitely kept her team in this game and kept this game scoreless.
And we know the quick strike ability that both Robert and McMackin have. So a goal could come at any moment for Salve.
It'll be a goal kick for the Seahawks.
McLaughlin with the great show of teamwork here, helping to tie Carly Paula's cleats. I imagine it's pretty hard to tie your shoes with the goalie gloves on.
Especially that, Andrew. She's not a wide receiver. She doesn't have small gloves.
You got the oven mitts. McLaughlin's kick. Kept alive by the Owls momentarily. Bouncing out to McMackin. Now Papiro chipping it out to midfield, knocked away from McMackin by Keene State. Maxwell feeding it back to McMackin. Left on the ground now at midfield. All the way across now for Zimrello. Looking to move it across the field for Cody. She fires it back to the opposite side, trying to feed McMackin. Trying to get it out high to Catherine Stimpson. Papiro picking her way through midfield, chipping it into space, and now McMackin onside will take it down the right side, throw it on the goal, and she scores! Abby McMackin from deep, and the Seahawks take the lead.
We've said her name so many times this season, Andrew. Abby McMackin. Her 9th of the season, her 4th in 2 games.
This one is a beauty, and we'll get a look at the replay here. McMackin down the right side, and that's just beautifully struck.
This places it right over Offord, and there's a owl down as both teams will get a break.
20 minutes and 3 seconds to go here in the second half. Salve Regina leading 1-0. We will take a break. Welcome back to Gaudet Field. Out of the timeout for the injury. Seahawks lead 1-0 off a sensational Abby McMackin goal, and we just said it. And it's the quick strike ability that she has, can change a game. Now Braun trying to chase down the right side, loses it off of her foot, out of play.
One of the Seahawk greats, Andrew McMackin, her 77th career point, 4 points away from Karen DeAngeli. That'll put her in 3rd place all time in points for women's soccer at Salve.
You wonder where she could rank. She played a season at back, sacrificing the chance for some offense to do what the team needed her to do. Maxwell, like this Leary, actually tracking back, plays it out of play.
And right now, Andrew, the difference in this game, besides the McMackin goal, was the big plays from Carly Pala earlier in this half.
Yeah, there were some balls that were just in very dangerous spots, hanging around the goal. And when you got so many people in such a small area and a big target that you have to hit, Carly has been up to the task here in this one. Braun shielded off the ball to go out of play. Seahawks will get it back. Clock rolling with 18:23 to play in the second half, leading 1-0. Seahawks trying to get their first ever win versus Keene State. And head coach Jane Walsh trying to earn a victory over the coach that she played for.
The Seahawks' first win ever versus Keene State.
Ball being danced around, and trying to angle down the middle was Rebecca Freitas. Owls will dance back towards midfield now. Wilcox has the ball behind her. Played down the line by D'Almeida. Into the corner. Leary will watch it go, and the Seahawks will get it back.
Andrew, this is the last non-conference game of the campaign for the Seahawks, and if they could end their non-conference season with a win, it would be big for them. They sit third currently in the CCC with 4 out of their 5 games remaining against teams in conference against teams below them. And excuse me, they have one more conference game at home against Springfield on the 13th.
Ball back to the Owls end, out of play. Seahawks will keep it. Ball out of bounds, and now throw in for the Owls from their own zone. 16:29 and counting to play here in the second half. Abby McMackin with the lone goal in this one. Seahawks will be awarded possession here. That ball kind of ricocheted around. McLaughlin trying to send it long and deep, and McMackin onside trying to pooch it over the top of Hufford, and she scores again!
A great chip by McMackin there, Andrew. That's her 5th goal in the last 2 games.
And just, that one is unbelievable touch. I mean, she got out the sand wedge on that one.
And you felt, Andrew, earlier in this half that the Owls were going to seize control of this game with those great chances early on, but you said it. The ability of McMackin and Robert able to strike, but McMackin twice in the last 5 minutes. And a big 2-goal lead for the Seahawks with 15 minutes left here in the second half.
Insurance goal for Abby McMackin.
Who else?
As you said, her 9th and 10th goals here tonight. And we talked early about Shelby Offord playing pretty far out from the goal. And both of those goals she's given up have gone over the top.
And yeah, they've come back to cost her.
And she's still hanging out there, good 20-something yards away.
But the counter ability of McMackin twice. Surprised she's still hanging out back there, but I would imagine if the Seahawks do get another counter chance, they will find a way.
Kozara has her feed knocked away, back to midfield. And the Seahawks in the driver's seat now. 14 minutes to play, leading 2-0. Zamrello nearly had a steal. Ball on the ground now. Leary with the right foot drives it long and deep. Ball skips out of play. Owls will get it back. Papiro. Some fancy footwork to keep it in play. Grabbed by the Owls. Pass looking for Braun. Knocked away by McLaughlin. Looking to dance her way out to midfield. Lost it. Chipped into Braun's corner now. And Zamrello tied up and tripped. No call. Here comes Braun now with space down the goal line, and she just feeds it off of a Seahawk and out of play.
Looked like she dribbled out of bounds herself, Andrew.
Yeah, she turned to shoot. So it'll be a goal kick here for Salve. 12:50 and counting.
Margaret Hanley will enter. She'll replace Kara Cody.
And the match for Salve Regina, number 27, Margaret Hanley.
Kozara moving it now to Sarah Karen, excuse me. Now Papiro picking her way, leaves it in space, able to get it back to herself. And tips it towards the goal. Out comes Offord. And a whistle here, and offsides is called. That time Offord playing back. Zamrello across the field. Emily Zamrello walks it forward. Abby McMackin has her service attempt denied. And now Zamrello will throw in from the near touchline. And Seahawks will get a sub here as Smith will come on.
Number 7, Emily Smith.
Zamrello tosses it into space. McMackin rips it away and now carries down the left side. McMackin trying to turn the corner, throws it on the net, and it's saved by Offord.
McMackin looking for that second straight hat trick, Andrew.
She scored 3 in the first half against Western New England, has 2 here in the second half of this one. Ball knocked away from Sam Redmond. Back to the Seahawks end. McLaughlin leaves it now for Emily Zamrello. Redmond looking to turn, plays it into the middle. Katie Zamrello weaving her way out to McMackin. Booted back into the Seahawks zone by the Owls. McLaughlin out to McMackin. Ball off the foot of Sarah Karen. Now Redmond in the air to McMackin. Redmond able to step to it just over midfield. Looking to send it for Papiro. Ball bouncing and Papiro trying to turn to it. In the air again. McMackin trying to head it towards Papiro. Out at midfield. Zamrello has it go away from her. Watson feeds it forward. Off the head of Maggie Vogt. 9:53 to go. Ball out of play, and the Seahawks will throw in from the far touchline. Down the right side, ball rolled towards the net, and it'll go wide and behind the goal. That shot attempt from Margaret Hanley going wide.
Kalena Palhoff will enter for the Owls for the second time.
Ball rolling along the near touchline. Fired down the side. Trying to angle into the middle is Ashley Bates. Seahawks converge. Zamrello there to knock it away. Chips it into space. It'll stay on the field of play. Handled now by Casey Kojara. And we'll get a goal kick here for Carly Paula with 8.5 to play in the second half. Seahawks leading 2-0. Thanks to Abby McMackin. Margaret Hanley trying to fight her way forward, loses it out of play. Owls will throw in. That shot goes wide.
And that's the first chance the Owls have had in at least 20 minutes, Andrew. The McMackin train has definitely found its way here to Gaudet Field for the second game in a row.
And it's hard enough to score. It's got to be even harder when the other team knows you're the person who's the trigger person for the offense. So credit to McMackin to be able to continue to find ways to beat defenses.
She's been doing it all season, and she is their main horse. Jamie Robert plays an integral role in that, but for the most part, it's Abby McMackin. She has 10 of the 16 Seahawk goals this season.
Kick here from the 20-yard line off the Seahawks foul. And some of these have been trouble, and this one's going to go well wide.
Entering the match for Salve Regina, number 22 Amanda Vance, and number 29 Ashley Legall.
And McMackin will exit, Andrew. You have to think that's it for her.
Yeah, curtain call for McMackin. 6 minutes to play. Seahawks don't need any more goals, just want to play some solid defense here. And we'd expect to see them, as we talked about in the men's broadcast last night, park the bus.
Absolutely. Johnson Wells did a great job of that. It came back to bite them, but for 25-30 minutes, it was a very successful formula, and the Seahawks will try to adopt it for 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
Ball out of play. Possession will belong to Keene State. Lobbed in the far side corner. Watson comes to hit it high in the air to go out of play. Throw in for the Owls. Dagnall knocks it away. Plays it back out to midfield. Out of the reach of Amanda Bentz. Ball into the corner now. Out of play, and it's going to belong to the Owls, and a corner coming. It will be Abasciano in the corner, and then it's rolled in. Ball out of play at midfield. Owls get it back, trying to work quickly here. 4:25 to play. Seahawks to throw in. And turned over to the Owls. Ball left in space. And softly chipped back to to the Keene State end and poked free. And now Dignall trying to chase this one down. And the Owls will play back to Offord. Kozara safely playing it back to the keeper. .345 and counting here in the second half. 2-0 Salve Regina with the lead. Trying to hang on and get their first win ever versus Keene State. Ball chipped into the corner. And Emily Zamorello knocked to the ground. And we do get the late foul call here. Zamorello chucks it in, knocked away. Voigt trying to carry it forward. And comes from the backside and knocks it free, kept alive by the Owls. Asciano with a shot, and it's saved by Paula. Jordan Abasciano with that left-footed chance. Saved by Paula. And her kick all the way out past midfield into Owls territory. 2:39 to play. Bentz nearly able to hop to that one. Dignall trying to carry it forward. Giving away to Keene State. Abasciano to throw in from the far side. Looking for an outlet. And crunch time really now here for Keene State. They trail by 2 with 2 minutes to play. This one put high in the air and it's going to go out of play. Off the foot of Victoria Reynolds.
Great defending tonight, Andrew, from the Seahawks. Carly Paula, the anchor of that back line, senior captain, goaltender, doing a great job tonight.
De Almeida trying to thread the needle, knocked away by McLaughlin. Zamorello chasing back now, trying to turn to the inside. Patricia Norton, and a shot is deflected and it goes wide. Oh my goodness.
A great save by Paula there, Andrew, extending to her right.
One minute left in the half.
1 minute remaining, as you heard from public address announcer Matt Hurd, as another shot is sent high and wide. Owls just trying to look for anything here. Ball out of play along the far side will belong to the Seahawks. 30 seconds remaining, though, and they are in the driver's seat of this one. And after losing 3 in a row, they're on their way to winning 2 in a row here. And this was a grinded out kind of game. It was 0-0 till late in the second half. And Abby McMackin just with 2 spectacular goals as the ball rolls all the way back to the Owls' end. That'll do it for this one. Abby McMackin, who else? 2 goals, her 9th and 10th of the season, is the difference here tonight for Salve. They beat Keene State 2-0. Sal, what's your takeaway from this game?
You said it, Andrew. Abby McMackin, she's their horse. She's scored 10 out of the 16 this season for the Seahawks, and they're going to go as far as she's going to take them this season. A big conference tilt this weekend for the Seahawks as they'll travel to the University of New England, who they are currently tied with in 3rd place in the CCC. So a big matchup for them this weekend.
And as we said, the Seahawks will be on the road for that one. Another conference game against Roger Williams, and then home on the 13th versus Springfield, the final non-conference game of the schedule. That game slated for a 12 p.m. start at Brother Reynolds. We hope. Weather providing. So I'd like to thank you all for joining and listening with us here tonight. Once again, your final Salve Regina 2, Keene State nothing. The Seahawks improve to 5-4. Keene State falls to 2-6-1 on the season. For Sal Gualtieri, I am Andy Pizzelli. Have a good night, everyone.